So I recently bought a stake in Northern Star Resources, and just today they released their earnings update. So I bought these at, on the 5th of February. They've released a really good earnings update, and I just wanted to take you through why I've bought it and why I've got even more confidence buying more after seeing this earnings update. So I've just bought $20,000 of this stock, and obviously it's marginally gone up, but if I just held it, bought it here and just sold it here, I think that's a profit of just over $1,000 on a $20,000 stake. So the reason I have put that amount is one, I'm comfortable doing it. I'm comfortable this money not going to zero, because I don't think it will, because I think this is a very good business. It's recently actually merged with Saracen, so SAR, so another really big gold miner in Australia, and it's become one of the biggest gold miners in the world. So what I wanted to do today is just take you through their recent earnings update and why I really like the stock. I have been through it. It was in my top 21 stocks for 2021. And I think it's very much a case of this will definitely hit its highs again, in my view. So I believe it got to 1684. So, I mean, if we look at that, when was that? Even if we just go on a 1 month basis, it's we're talking about, even if it just gets to what it was a month ago, I'll still make a pretty good gain on my $11.87 purchase price. So if we have a look at this stock, it tends to trade in a particular range, and I'll open up the summary probably first, and also take you through the longer presentation as well. I'll also get into trading view and look at NST, just double check that it's the correct one that pops up when we do it. .ax. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, this stock here, guys, trades in a particular pattern, right? It goes up for a couple of months, then it comes down for a couple of months, then it goes up for a couple of months, then it comes down a little bit. But you see this kind of like trading range, and it seems to be getting more and more erratic. But what I like is it's found a base here around this $11.80 level, and this is where I've bought, because as you can see, there is a bit of resistance here, 1171-ish here. As you can see, it's hit here before, hit here, it's like 4 odd times on a weekly. And then let's go out to a monthly chart. I like looking at the longer term charts just to see what's going on with this business, right? So long term, this business is doing fantastically. I bought in at I believe $1.80-ish in 2014, 2015, somewhere here, and I actually sold around here in 2019. Reason being was I thought I'd had a pretty good run, but if I just held, I still would have done better, right? And as you can see, we've got strong resistance here. I believe if we look at a smaller time frame, we can see that this resistance here is quite strong. It's hit it, and the reason being, I believe it's been run down, is short sellers have actually been shorting the hell out of this stock. But this earnings update has made me very confident, and I'll take you through it right now. So as you can see, we've looked at the chart. Let's look at some numbers now, right? Let's have a look. So Northern Star Resources, guys, basically have 3 main operations. So they've got the Kalgoorlie operations, Yandal operations, North American, which is called POGO. So you'll hear them normally called by these names here, and these reserves here are almost 2 million. So they're targeting 2 million ounces per annum, okay? And they're all in tier 1 locations, which is what I like. So the great thing about that is that you don't have to put up with, either terrible jurisdictions in Africa that are unsafe or very hard to operate in. These are all either in North America or Australia, so very good jurisdictions. So that's what I like. They've got big reserves. So the other mine is actually in Alaska, in America. Big reserves. They've recently merged with Saracen, so they're targeting these 2 million ounces by FY27. So some of these, obviously, they need to dig more, drill, test, and see if some of those areas have the ability to do that. But based on current geology, that's what they think is there, right? So the reason they merged with Saracen is Northern Star is more of an underground gold mining stock. Saracen has more open pit expertise, and that's why they've merged apart from the other synergy. So they've had record underlying free cash flow of 226 million for the half. So for the year, you're talking almost 500 million in free cash flow. And the reason I like looking at cash flow is you cannot lie about that number, right? So cash is cash. Earnings you can kind of manipulate a little bit, but cash you cannot. So there's a record increase in profit, 63% up, 194 million to 195 million. So on the prior half, they're up 63%. Dividend is up 27%. They're reinvesting. They sold more gold than ever. So they sold 480,000 ounces. And their return on equity is huge. It's 17%. The numbers you're looking at here are almost like a software company growth, guys. So what I suggest, guys, is if you want a real top level view, you just look at this here. So there's normally two updates here. So there's a half year presentation and the summary. I'll normally look at the summary first and get kind of like a little bit of the top level view and then dig into this. But I've sort of come into here just because it looks a little bit better. But for the top level numbers, I'll quickly take you through it. So, net profit after tax up 63%, earnings up 27% per share. Net PATs and net profit after tax is 46% up. Cash flow, as I said, was up. EBITDA up to 472 million, revenue up to 1.1, so up 34%. So what I like is their EBITDA went up faster than revenue. I like seeing that because it means they're more profitable. Dividends coming up, superior return, so return on equity of 17.4%, which is huge. Gold sales up. Outstanding results from operations, 517 million, cash and bullion investments of 372 million and 375 million of debt. So very, very little debt. And to be honest, their cash and bullion could pay off the debt, which is amazing, right? And they're on track to meet their guidance of 940,000 to 1.06 million ounces. So I recommend jumping on these calls, guys, when you get a chance. Obviously, this one's already been done. Normally, there's a recording, right? So I also like to look through here, but as you can see, very, very strong update, guys. There's nothing really that bad there to talk about. Strong margins, record performance. So their strategy is aimed at ensuring Northern Star generates strong growth at all levels while maintaining its industry-leading financial returns. So this management team is fantastic, guys. They continue to deliver over time. The share price probably got a little bit ahead of itself, so dropped back. People started to short it. Something weird is going on there with the whole Saracen, Northern Star. So what's happening is Saracen holders are getting Northern Star shares at a rate of like 3.6, 3.7, something like that per share. And something's going on there. I'm not sure of what financial wizardry is happening, but something weird is happening. And these guys have got a good track record. So I personally think this is a very, very good buy for those wanting to, potentially trade in and out of this. This stock is quite easy to trade, set a tight stop loss. And it tends to follow that channel, and that 1170 odd level has pretty strong support. Now, whether or not it's going to go down lower, I'm not sure, but I'm probably going to hold this for 6 months at the very least, a year, probably more. So I'm not too worried. I know I'm going to get a little dividend along the way. These guys are always raising their dividend. Very, very good business. So what we'll do is we'll actually go into the deeper the presentation just to see what's going on. I don't really look too much at this stuff. I mean, you can read through this if you want, but here's where most of the core financial information is held here. So have a look through that. But as you can see, all green, all big numbers. I like to see that. So they then get into the mine site cash flow, and then they break down the mine. So the only mine here that's kind of, not probably pulling its weight as much of late and people have been worried about is actually the Pogo mine, which looks to be greatly improving, as you can see. So half one margin was 8%, it's now 47%. So it's a big change here. Pogo's contribution with mining transition complete, operational focus remains on productivities and cost initiatives. So Pogo was the mine they bought in Alaska, and it's a big mine, but it hasn't been running as well as they wanted, and it now seems to be well on track. So record earnings. They're still investing into the future, right? So they're still exploring, still drilling, still digging, trying to find new deposits, because the issue with gold miners is, obviously over time you keep removing something from the mine, it doesn't automatically replenish, right? You can't just go and create a new one in China. So they've made a lot of acquisitions of late, and obviously the merger with Saracen. They've got a little bit of debt which they never used to have, but they're well positioned, guys. So gold price is very, very strong still, even with the small drop back that's happened. Gold price has come back too. That's another reason it's dropped back, but very, very, very good business, guys. So dividends, have a look at the dividends increase over time from 2012. So I bought in here, somewhere here, 14, 15, and look at this. Incredible, hey? So they keep returning money to shareholders. So it's 6% of revenue. So as that grows, that dividend will keep growing. So here's what I was talking about, how there's the mine in Alaska, and then there's the other 3 mines in Australia. So as you can see, I like to look at, okay, what the AIC is, the all-in sustaining cost to produce gold. So here, this is 1,200, pretty low. This is 1,300. This is 1,000. This is 890. So as you can see, the mine in Alaska is very much the more expensive mine to run. Some of these are ridiculous. So these guys are getting $890 an ounce. What's the price of gold at the moment? So this is in Australian dollars. Let's go USD. So 1,800, okay? So they're making almost $1,000 in profit off this mine per ounce, which is incredible, right? They're selling it and they're making a lot of money. So I hope you've understood how good of a company this is. I really like it. As I said, I've put my money where my mouth is and I've bought it. I'll potentially even buy more after assessing my financial position over the next few days, and probably will trade it for at least a portion of that money and then leave the rest in there. So hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Just a really, really quick update on earnings of this company. And I hope you enjoy these. I'll keep doing more, but let me know what you want to see more of. Cheers.